So Trump has sent the National Guard into another US city. He sent them in to Washington, D.C. Remember, not long ago he sent the National Guard as well as the military into LA. And now he's sending them in to Washington, D.C. And he's federalized the police force there, so they have to report directly to the federal administration. Now, why is he doing that? He says it's to fight crime. But the facts tell us otherwise. Because Washington, D.C. actually has the lowest violent crime rate that it's had in 30 years at the moment.
In Washington, D.C., homicides are down 32%, robberies are down 39%, armed carjackings are down 53%, assaults with a dangerous weapon are down 27%. In Washington, D.C., the rates of burglaries and assaults with a dangerous weapon are at their lowest point in 30 years.
So it's clearly not actually the crime itself that is the reason behind him sending these troops in there. He even mused during his press conference about the likelihood of sending troops in to other US cities, and he even named them. He named Chicago and Baltimore as future cities where he might send in troops.
He very, very pointedly did not rule out doing more of this during this press conference.
No, in fact, he went through a list of cities and discussed them as if they were next targets, right? Baltimore, Oakland, Chicago. I'm sure I'm missing a few. All
not Houston.
Blue states.
Interestingly
not Houston.
Not Houston.
Weirdly enough.
Not Oklahoma City.
No, nothing like that.
Now note that there's a common thread behind all of these different cities that he's naming. LA, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Chicago, and some others that he's named as well. And what they all have in common is that they're democratic cities. They have majority of people who are democratic voters. It's not Trump country. Trump doesn't get very many votes there. And they're diverse communities. So these diverse communities, with people who tend to be progressive and liberal, that's where he's sending the troops in on purpose. And he's not sending the troops in where the crime rate is actually high and where there are real concerns about violence. So you won't hear about anywhere in Texas, you won't hear about anywhere in Florida. You won't hear, for example, about a place called Anniston in Alabama, which has the highest per capita violent crime rate. There's 3,434 violent crimes per capita takes place in that country. That's one violent crime for every 7 people who live there. And despite its skyrocketing level of violent crimes, there's no question of sending in National Guard or any form of military intervention into Alabama, because that is Trump country. So essentially, what we're talking about here is a deliberate strategy of sending people in to specific places, based, yes, on their political orientation, but also on their population. There are people who he claims are undesirable to him and to society. That's why he's sending troops in there. This is on top of the ICE arrests and confiscation and disappearance of people, and the incarceration of people without due process, and the deporting of people without due process. But again, it's not random people, it's not any people, and it's not people in areas that support him. It's specific people who he's targeting, who are from specific demographics and from specific parts of the country. Now, in past times we've talked about how America could move towards authoritarianism, a bit like the sort of boiling frog strategy, build it up, little bit at a time, gradually build the temperature. But that's not what's happening here. They're discrete and deliberate and overt steps moving towards a very different kind of government. In historical times, the US president and the federal administration has always said that they are here to serve the entire population. Whether you voted for me or not, I am your president and I will work to serve all of you. That's what we hear from every single inauguration speech, every single victory speech, from every federally elected officer. But Trump isn't here to do that, and he's not pretending he's here to do that either. What he's saying is that if you're not part of my group, if you're in the out group, not the in group, then not only will I not serve you, I'll incarcerate you, I'll put the military on the streets against you. Now, There's a word for that. There's a word for a government that is designed to do specifically that. And I'll leave it to my friends in the Bulwark, great channel, to spell it out for us now.
It's all they, them, and in-group, out-group. Because again, the calls to violence are all, as you know, I brought up the Capitol Police in January 6th, because this shows it isn't really about crime. It isn't about police. It's about using force against the out-group, right? In this case, the out-group happens to be, you know, like black teenagers or homeless people or something. But if all of a sudden they're great patriots who are trying to overthrow the United States government, well, hold on now. Don't go getting crazy, right? And that's why it isn't really about crime. It is just naked fascism. Like, I'm sorry, it's just naked fascism.
I hope you liked the video. I hope you also can join me with more of my content that I'm aiming to make over the coming months and years. You see, this time around, what we're experiencing in this administration is a global trauma, and the people going through it have been asking, how can we support ourselves? How can we learn and grow and share together through this process? So I've started to write a series of ebooks. That's together with my whole team. Once a month, we're going to produce an ebook to help us understand better the psychology of the people around us and the systems we're in, as well as our own psychology too, to help us navigate this increasingly confusing and disorientating world we find ourselves in. You'll be able to find those books on russellsbooks.com. That's russellsbooks.com. As soon as you go there, you'll be able to see the growing catalogue of books and hopefully buy any of them at any point. In addition, I hope you can subscribe to my e-newsletter. See, there's a link in the description of this video and also the description of the channel. And if you go there, you'll be able to fill out a form. Once you've completed the form, you'll then be able to get subscribed to my e-newsletter. And that way you can always be kept up to date about the content I'm producing. You see, the fact is that this platform, as well as all platforms, are owned by a very small number of oligarchs. And at any point, they might decide to shut down a channel like this. And if they do that, then, well, it's going to be hard for us to keep connecting. So if you sign up for my e-newsletter, that way you'll be able to make sure that you'll be informed about my content wherever it's delivered and wherever it lands. Finally, I hope you might also consider becoming a member of the channel. If you do, you'll get these ebooks for free every month. So all the ebooks I produce go free to my members who join the channel every month. Also, you can get priority response to comments, and there's also a members-only chat page for higher-level members that we engage in regularly to sort of learn, share, and support one another. As I say, this is a difficult time, it's a traumatic time in history, so many of us need support from each other. I'm hoping each of these things can help all of us create a better tomorrow together. Thank you.